God gave me this vision about 7 years ago,
Hmm.
and the movement started from the book, the very first book I wrote, Wake Up Call, Waking Up God's Purpose in You. Well, I was under the impression that this book was going to, um, be phenomenal, sell millions of copies. However, God had a bigger plan. It was actually to start a movement. And
Hmm.
so from that book, we founded the Wake Up Call Radio and Television Network, home to over 30 weekly shows, from health and wellness to spiritual empowerment, enrichment, where we have lots of professionals on when it comes to wellness and health, and then we have a lot of ministers and teachers and professionals like yourself on just to talk about their journey and what they're doing. We call it the movers and shakers in our city and around the world. So it's been phenomenal. I found purpose, after all that I've done, I found purpose. Working as a hairstylist, business owner for the last 30 years, this is the most fulfilling that I've enjoyed.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned, the different, roles that you've had and positions that you've had over the last 30 years, and this being the most fulfilling. Somebody needs to hear that, because that is a journey to finding your purpose. It doesn't necessarily, at least I don't know anyone where it happened overnight. It's through the process of living and through the process of going through these different experiences, gaining the experiences and the knowledge and so forth, to where you get to the point where you can really say, I am walking in my purpose, and it feels good.
It does. It really does.
And walking in this purpose, you're walking together, you and your husband,
Yes.
working together. So tell us a little bit about that collaboration as well.
Well, what I love about my husband of 32 years, he is my greatest supporter. He's my greatest supporter, building businesses, and throughout our 32 years together, we've always worked together. We've always been friends and best friends, and we've always been business partners, for my senior adult daycares and my learning centers for children. He works with me with the policies and procedures, and with the studio. He works with me on set. He works with me on several shows. And so he is my biggest supporter, and I thank God for him daily.
I always ask married couples what, to share some nuggets, to share some words of wisdom, to share advice, to let us know how long they've been married and what they feel contributes to the success of their marriage. And I said this last night when we were recording a previous episode, and I'll say it again. Each and every one of you, the couples, have always said that your mate is your best friend. Your mate is your best friend. You can take anything, you can talk about anything. It's your safe place, it's your comfort. And that's important, especially for young people today, to understand that the foundation matters. The foundation of the relationship matters, and to be able to work together as business partners and as husband and wife, that sounds like a lot of time together.
That's a lot of time together. That's a lot of time together.
Yeah.
And we have written 3 books together as
Oh
well.
my gosh.
Yeah, so we do
Yeah.
a lot of work together, but it's something that we have always done from the beginning. So it's a norm for us. It's a norm for us.
So just spending that much time, you just answered my next question. Then spending.
And that's part of our success as team players. We understand that we're on the same team. We work together, and no one tries to outshine the other. If one loses, the whole team loses.
The whole team loses.
The whole
team. So tell us a bit about When the Vow Breaks. Tell us a bit about that book.
Well, When the Vow Breaks, A Journey from Hurt to Healing, we actually talk about our broken first marriage. We were both married before, early on, 19, 20 years old. And we talked about the pain and the transition of those early on relationships. He had two girls, 2 and 3. I had a son, 2 years old. And so we had to revisit that pain to actually talk about the healing process. So we began with the pain and the suffering and the brokenness from the first relationship. And then we sat down one day to coin what would be the 7 shares. So that's communication. Those are the things.